back. Drives into the lane, goes up and good, and it's fouled. What a play by Jeremiah Bell.
Be good to go over there. I think Terry Johnson, a big dunk right there by Matt Rose. Nice dish, too.
Tom Davis. Davis down low. Good pass. Laid up and in by Cal.
Looking down low. Oh, the alley-oop.
A 6-second. Got him. Back door and the dunk with authority.
Rose, right wing. Ferguson steps into a three. Got it.
Ferguson now 14 points in this.
The following sports broadcast is brought to you by Clear Choice Orthodontics, home of Doctors Durbin, Wong, and Gardner. By Sutherland Chevrolet over in Nicholasville. By Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. By UK Healthcare, Orthopedic Surgery, and Sports Medicine. By Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky. By Roberts Insurance and Investments. By UK Healthcare, Kentucky Children's Hospital. By Crown Trophy. Dallin Family Dentistry. Central Bank. Lowe's Sporting Goods. Raymond James. Richard Noonan is your agent. By News Talk 590 WVLK. And by Rafferty's. We now take you live to today's ball game in high definition on PrepSpin.com.
Good morning and welcome to the 11th Region Tournament over in Richmond, Kentucky on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. It's game number 2 of what will be 6 here on this Saturday afternoon in central, snowy, cold Kentucky as the Lafayette Generals take on the Franklin County Flyers. Good morning and welcome to game number 2, as I said. Darren Douglas along with Coach Red Hutchins as we get set for game 2. What is of 6 today, Coach, and this is going to be a long day, but this one proves to be somewhat intriguing as Lafayette runners-up with the 43rd District after an exciting triple overtime loss to Lexington Catholic by a score of 50-49. Franklin County, meanwhile, blew out Woodford County, the regular season champion, in the 41st to earn the top seed as far as out of that district concerned. So Franklin County comes in with only a record of 8-21, Coach, but they are playing their best basketball at the time it matters.
Well, at this time of the year, it doesn't matter record. Everybody's 0-0, so it really doesn't matter at this time. These guys are going to have a tall task, against a pretty good Lafayette team, well coached. Coach Wise has got a lot out of his group this year, and, they here. So anything can happen. This is March Madness, so anything can happen. I mean, not to count Franklin County out, you can't do that because they're here. I mean, to say that Woodford and, to say that Frankfort wouldn't be here this year with that group. I had an opportunity to coach that group when they were all sophomores, so I thought they were going to get a chance to be here. So it says a lot about what Franklin County's doing over there and what Coach Wise is going to try to continue to do.
Well, these two teams met back earlier in the year, back on February the 3rd, almost a little over a month ago. Lafayette won that down in the capital city by convincing fashion of 71-31. They led 51-18 at halftime, got off to a 24-11 lead after one quarter. Really, that ball game was decided in the first 8 minutes.
And you know what Franklin County's going to have to do, they're going to have to stop what Lafayette likes to do, like to spread you out, take you off the dribble, and it's tough to guard at times. And then you got shooters like Harrison Lane, and you got the big fella in the middle that can finish around. So it'll be a tall task tonight for them.
Getting ready for the starting lineups. Lafayette, the runner-up of the 43rd, will be the visiting team wearing red with the blue and white trim. Franklin County in the home white with the navy blue and gold trim. And the next voice you'll hear in just a moment will be Gary Ball. He'll be miking up public address announcer Ray White with game number 2 starting lineups.
Darren Douglas, Ray White doing the public address. By the way, a little insight for you and Coach Red. T.J. Downey not playing today. Playing, out of the game.
Here inside Alumni Coliseum on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University for 11th Region Basketball Tournament action. Our second game today features the Generals of Lafayette High School and the Flyers of Franklin County High School. And now our starting lineups. First, for the Generals of Lafayette High School out of District 43, wearing their red uniforms, trimmed in blue and white. At guard, a 5'9" junior, number 3, Jalen Jenkins. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 11, Lucky Jackson. At guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 23, Jawante Carpenter. At guard, a 6' junior, number 25, Harrison Lane. At center, a 6'6" junior, number 44, Ross Jenkins. The Generals are coached by Michael Mendenhall III. And now the Flyers of Franklin County High School out of District 41, wearing their white uniforms, trimmed in blue and gold. At center, a 6'5" senior, number 12, Cooper Giles. At guard, a 5'7" 8th grader, number 13, Diablo Stewart. At forward, a 6'3" senior, number 15, Michael Clark. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 22, Ryan Schneider. At forward, a 6'3" junior, number 30, DeMarcus Kennedy. The Flyers are coached by Tony Wise. Your officials for today's game are Douglas Walker, Keith Gooderman, and John Edelin.
That's our starting lineups. Franklin County and Lafayette again. Lafayette won the regular season meeting, but really, Coach, you can throw that out because at that point in time there was a lot of, I don't want to say disarray, but a lot of confusion around the Franklin County program. Had some players leave the program, but also a new coach, new style.
Well, it must have worked out because they're here in this position. I mean, like I said before, you can't put records or anything on the line. You know, this group will come out and fight, and if they do that, it's going to be a tall task, no doubt. But if they do that, they can have a chance tonight. They got to stop a lot of guys, but they got a chance.
Well, Michael Clark will move in against Ross Jenkins as they'll jump center. Franklin County playing defensive tap already. And Clark wins the tip.
That's a good start.
Here comes the young 8th grade point guard for the Flyers, Diablo Stewart. Working on Jenkins, and here's Ross Jenkins with the steal. Lafayette the other way.
You know, as an 8th grader, Stewart's got to calm down. He comes from a good pedigree of basketball, though. So
here's Harrison Lane for 3 on the left wing. Short rebound by Carpenter. There goes Jenkins into the lane. Wild shot picked up by Stewart for Franklin County. We're just underway, no score. They'll kick it back in a traveling call on Ryan Schneider, who is the leading scorer, the only Flyer averaging in double figures, averaging just under 18 points a game.
In order for them to get something tonight, it's going to have to be some other guys step up to get some double digits. They're going to have an unsung hero for the night. This Lafayette group's not bad.
Give it off to Carpenter. Jenkins around the lane. They lob it down low to Jenkins. Back out the lane in the right corner. Puts it on the floor, shovels it down to Jenkins. Puts it off the glass. No. Rebound by Schneider for Franklin County.
Just have to settle down. Everybody's got a little nerves at this moment in the game. I think once they settle down, it'll be a good flow for both teams.
Kennedy back to Stewart, and Coach Red mentioned his pedigree as he'll drive down the lane. Hangs, has it blocked by Jenkins, picked up by, that is Giles on the backside, has it blocked. Clark gets it, missed the shot, rebound by Kennedy, and I think they're going to get him for a push-off, or they're going to get Lafayette. Let's see. They got DeMarcus Kennedy for clearing out.
Not bad.
Nope.
They have to put, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
They have to put their body on somebody. They can't do a jumping jack game with this group. Once Lafayette gets settled in, it's going to be tough, but they do have some more horses that they can put in.
Foul was on Stewart, the little guy in there battling amongst the trees. A 2-3 zone from Franklin County this trip. Well, swinging around to Carpenter. Down the lane goes Lucky Jackson and knocked away from him, and here come the Flyers.
The one thing that I do like from the first game that I got a chance to see, the referees allowing these groups to play, so kids are going to have to get used to getting to the basket, taking a little bit of contact and finishing. So can't really complain about that at this moment.
Ball dribbled off the foot of Lucky Jackson, and it goes back to Franklin County. We played a minute 53, and neither team has dented the scoreboard yet. Stewart and Kennedy around over here to Snyder. Back to Kennedy. They'll get it into front court to Snyder. Down low, it goes to Giles. Turned, no good. Tipped out by Giles on the rebound and knocked out of bounds off of Carpenter for Lafayette. Back to the Flyers.
It's a good hustle right there. It has to be those 50-50 balls right there. Those are crucial in tournament time, getting to the rim and getting 50-50 balls.
Mike Mendenhall III, head coach of Lafayette, pacing back and forth in front of his bench. And the most relaxed Tony Wise I think I've ever seen in his life. Stewart misses the short runner, rebounded off the backside by Jackson. Ahead to Jenkins. Drives down the lane, blocked out of the bounds by Giles. So Franklin County right now serving notice in the first minute 27 or 2 minutes and 27 seconds of this one. They're here to play.
That's a good job by Franklin County. They have to play like this. If they can continue to do this, they have a shot.
Jackson around to Carpenter. 3, right of the circle, good.
Can't let him do that. That's one thing that he can do is stroke the rock.
If he sets his feet, he's dangerous.
Yes.
Ahead it goes to Clark, working on Jenkins. Might have gotten away with a walk. Back out to Kennedy, around to Stewart. Interesting matchup here. Lucky Jackson and Diablo Stewart.
Yeah, I think it's a good matchup because Lucky does a good job defending, and it causes a lot of problems for your 8th grade point guard who's not been in this situation before. But I still think that Diablo, from here on out, his experience doing this game is going to be tremendous for them. If they can pull out the upset, which I feel safe in saying if they were to win, it'd be an upset. Franklin County takes off from here.
The foul was on Lucky Jackson, his first, and at the line is Ryan Schneider. And misses the first. Schneider, usually a pretty good free throw shooter. Shoots at around 75% and goes 1 of 2.
Yeah. Take his time. They can't leave any stone unturned, as I like to say, in this game. They got to get everything.
3-1 Lafayette as Carpenter has it here on the right wing. They work it around to the left side to Lane. Carpenter sets 3, right side, good.
That's 2. You got to get out on that. That's going to cause a lot of issues if they don't get out there and guard that a little better.
Well, he is a pretty good set shooter, so you got to make him put it on the floor.
Put it on the deck.
Here's Schneider, has it taken away from behind. Lane working on Kennedy, throws it up towards the rim and was almost answered.
If that had went in, I don't know what I'd have said. What happened to the one guard that they said that wasn't
I don't know.
playing?
He's out for the day, so T.J. Downey is the young man you're referring to. He is not playing today.
He's sick or?
That's a good possibility.
It's going around. I had a little under the weather situation.
Well, we're friends and everything, but keep it with you, okay?
I'll try my hardest, D.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. I don't get nobody sick, man.
Lane misses the first free throw. The second one is good.
Well, 7-1. Franklin County has to go down on this end and score or make some kind of knock into this, or this thing could get out of hand real quick.
Well, that's what happened in the regular season game between these two, and a 10-second call on a turnover. And Coach Tony Wise just drops his head and says, guys, 10 seconds is a long time, but you got to advance the ball up and just relax.
I don't have any dog in the fight at Franklin County, but I hope that they don't have the mindset, I'm just glad to be here.
Right.
I don't think that they do, but they're going to have to go ahead and attack and do some things. A good job right there.
Kennedy got a hand on the football. It's basketball. Actually, Kennedy is actually a pretty decent receiver on the Flyer football team. That's why
he's a nice, solid-looking kid, I tell you that much.
That's why I referenced the football there. This 2-3 zone, you can tell Franklin County's not used to playing it. They probably worked on it, put it on in the week.
Yeah.
Shot missed in there by Lucky Jackson, but he tips it up and in with the right hand.
Yeah, that's what they can't allow Lafayette to get second chance points and create their offense with, got to attack that rim right there.
Schneider working on Jackson. Or Jenkins puts it up and in. Now, Schneider took it to the contact of Jenkins, was able to finish off the glass. Into the post to Jenkins. Back to Jackson. Penetrates, gives it on the shovel pass to Jenkins, and has it roofed by Schneider. But I think they're going to get a foul on Giles down low.
I know Coach Wise is like, where's the foul at? 3 or 4 times when the big fella went up. I think everybody on Franklin County team fouled him up going for that shot. But, hey, they letting them play. So you can't, as a coach, you got to tell your kids you got to go to the basket to finish.
And you see Coach Wise across the way asking, where's the foul? He said, we roofed the ball, and then he jumped into my defender who was on the floor as Jenkins hits the first. That's one of those calls that seems to never go the way of the defender.
I like it that they call the foul because sometimes they don't call it on the big kids, especially when the small kids are hitting on them. So
Jenkins hits both free throws, and it's 10-3 in favor of the Generals.
What Franklin County could do themselves a favor by, going on a little run here, trying to make some shots, trying to score right here in this moment. But if they don't want this lead to get real out of hand where they're not really getting anything out of it.
Schneider to Stewart, cut off. Between the legs, gets into the lane. Now we'll back it out.
8th grader, he looks nice out there, composed.
Very composed, yep. Kennedy in the left corner. Down the lane, hangs, put it up, and it'll dance in.
That's a good move right there. That's a good, strong move, taking it to the big guy. That was smart of them. The big guy's out. Oh, loose ball, 50-50. You got to have those. There you go.
Schneider ahead to Clark. Hangs, laid it in.
Right here. Talked about a little run right here. Gave themselves a shot. Now it's 11-7.
11-7, as Coach Red says, into the ballgame for Lafayette. William Watkins, number 31 in red. Shot out of the corner, no good by Carpenter. Tipped out. Jackson with it. Hangs, put it up. Whistle, and a charging foul.
Hey, it's good D right there by
that was
Franklin
Giles.
County.
Yep.
They're playing a little stronger right here. Lucky goes out. Jawante comes in.
Giles, number 12, taking the charge. That's Lucky's second foul.
Oh, it's 2 on Luck.
So Jackson will take a seat as Kennedy will inbound to Schneider. Schneider kills his dribble on the right side in the right corner now to Clark. Back to Schneider to Stewart. Stewart.
I like him.
Very composed for a young man of 13?
13.
Giles out of the corner for 3. Way too strong. Carpenter clears it for Lafayette.
Stewart's going to have to play a lot of minutes to keep them in the game.
Jenkins in the corner. Skip pass right side lane. Puts it on the floor. Shovels down low to Watkins, who laid it in.
It's good execution right there against the zone. Very patient.
9 times out of 10, a skip pass will open up the lanes. Here's a nice look from Kennedy down to
right
Clark.
That's a good job. Franklin County's giving it a little bit of a fight, 13-9. I mean, they're going to have to fight all night, not to take anything away from them, but, they continue to play their 2-3 zone pretty good. Get those 50-50 balls to at least give themselves a shot.
We'll have to identify your three-point shooters as they'll let Jenkins shoot 3 straight away. Off the right side of the rim, no good. Rebound cleared by Clark for Franklin County.
It's good rebound. It's making Lafayette do something a little bit different than what they were used to. So it might be a good sign for Franklin County.
Schneider working on Watkins to Kennedy. Lafayette really pressuring the basketball and 1 pass away, denying passes. Really sloughing off on the baseline. Kennedy down the left side of the lane, whistling a foul coming up on Franklin, or for Lafayette. That's Cameron Greenup.
The one thing it is for this game, as I said, Franklin County is not playing to be happy. Lafayette's got to be in the mindset of, hey, this group is coming to play. They've been hot this past week or so we have to come to play. They're not going to lay down on you. And I'm sure Mindy, if I could call him that over the line, Mindy has gone over that with that, So, they have to come out and play. And, everybody has jitters this first part of the game. The only team I think that has that experience on this floor is Madison Central. So everybody else has got that, early game jitters and they settle down, But, hey, 13-10 right now. If I'm Tony Wise, hey, we doing what we're supposed to do. We can move forward right now.
4 for DeMarcus Kennedy as Giles and Stewart get a break. Ryan Staples, a 5'10 sophomore, number 11 in white, into the ball game, along with Sid Liberty of 32 in white, 6'1 sophomore.
You got to take care of that ball right here. And what Franklin County has to do right here is capitalize on, if Lafayette makes turnovers, they have to capitalize on those right now.
Under a minute to play, 13-10, Lafayette on top. And Franklin County going to spread the floor here. Here's Schneider, puts it on the floor behind the back into the lane, hangs. Right corner, swinging around.
Good ball movement.
Kennedy
Oh,
pulls
no.
up, 12-footer, back rim, no.
Oh, rebound,
Goes after his own,
50-50.
gets it, gives it back to Clark.
50-50 ball right there.
And Staples will back it out on the dribble to Kennedy. They spread it again the floor. Watkins on Kennedy.
Wow.
Here's a good matchup. Jenkins and Schneider. Weave out front. Kennedy on the drive. Right between the legs of
It was a tough try right
his
there.
teammate.
I know Diablo's not in right now, so somebody else has to be that primary ball handler and, be strong with the basketball right there. I think that Franklin County somewhat needed that score right here to give themselves a little momentum. But, hey, they still in it. It's 17 seconds. And to be 13-10 coming out here, I guarantee you right now that Coach Wise is appreciative of what his group is doing right now.
Carpenter will run the point. To Lane. Inside Ross Jenkins. Right side three, no good. Rimmed in and out. Rebounded by
Good
Clark.
job.
And a good first quarter of action between Franklin County and Lafayette. We're through one quarter of play. It's Franklin County and Lafayette hooked up on a good one. The Generals lead 13-10 here on PrepSpin.com.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 496 Kentucky schools.
Over 282,000 students benefit from Whitaker Bank's Kentucky education initiatives.
Whitaker Bank has contributed almost $441,000 to education programs for the advancement of Kentucky's youth.
We share your passion, Kentucky.
Love the bank that loves you back.
Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Choosing a college is about setting a course, a path that leads to your destination. At EKU, the adventure is what lies in between. Eastern Kentucky University. Great journeys begin.
Back to McBrayer Arena on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. Darren Douglas along with Coach Red Hutchins as Lafayette leads Franklin County 13-11. They corrected a score on the scoreboard between quarters.
Oh, man.
Here's a turnover for the Generals.
There you
Kennedy out in front of everybody. Laid it up too strong.
Gotta have
Schneider, though, will grab the rebound for Franklin County to Kennedy. Clark back to Staples.
Yeah, not bad. Franklin County starting to settle in, and big shot.
Staples for three, and Franklin
Good
County has
shot.
their first lead of the ball game
Wow.
at 14-13.
Yeah, like I said, Franklin County's come out hot. Lafayette's going to have to settle in, which I think they will, and do some good things right here. If not, Franklin County gives themselves a shot.
They go down low to
man.
Jenkins, has it poked away. Back to Jenkins, and a whistle and a foul on the floor.
It looked like a little steps called to me, but, hey, I'm not officiating. I'm over here with my man Big D, so I'll stay in my place. The big double D. Staying here with Double D. I'll stay in my place, man. Let's keep the microphone on, man. And be quiet.
We keep working. The foul was on Franklin County. I didn't pick the number up, I believe. It was on
number 11.
Yeah, number 11. Shot no good, and Lafayette right now struggling from the field against this 2-3 Franklin County zone.
The football. I was about to give him
Watkins
some
with a
points.
nice pick of the pocket of Kennedy. Drives down, laid it up, too strong. Ball tipped, no good. Rebounded by Kennedy for Franklin County. Ahead to Staples. 2-on-1 with Lane hustling back for Lafayette. Driving down the lane. A blocking foul on Jenkins.
Hey, right now, Lafayette has to just remain calm. But, hey, give credit to Franklin County and Coach Wise. They coming out with a little zealous, if that's a word. If not, I just coined it. We're going to call it a word.
Okay, I got it. Hey.
Zealous, I don't know what that is, but we coining that word for today. That's mine, but they coming out with whatever that means. Whatever that word means, they're coming out with it. So we'll go.
Staples hits the first of two. The foul was on Jalen Jenkins. His first, the team's fourth of the first half of action. And Staples hits both free throws, and Franklin County has a 3-point lead at 16-13 with 6:45 to play before halftime.
Hey, Franklin County, hey, they're playing well. I see how they knocked out Woodford County and Frankfort. I mean, they're playing pretty good right now. You got to give them credit.
Jenkins comes down and answers the call there for Lafayette, 16-15 now. Franklin County doing a pretty good job of handling this press. Staples throws one up on the far side. No good. Jenkins taps it to Carpenter. Here comes Jalen Jenkins. Laid it up. Got it.
What they can do right now, I'd like to see Diablo get back in the game. I'd like to see Diablo get back into the game and settle them down a little bit, to have that one guard that can lead you into doing some good things, because right now they're getting kind of helter-skelter, which to me plays in the favor of Lafayette because they can get a little wild and make a couple of shots.
Well, the one thing I talked is they lob it into Clark with a
nice.
short 8-footer good.
Okay.
6 now for Michael Clark.
Well, hey, Coach Red.
Well, I tell you, the one thing when I was talking with both coaches before the game, as they were watching game number 1 today, Tony Wise of Franklin County said we have to handle the pressure. We do that, I think our half-court offense is good enough. Here's Jenkins with 6 straight points.
Yeah, they got some guys that can score in a hurry. So, still in the game though. Hey, they're still in the game. They're gonna make shots.
And I asked Tony, I said, "Are you all going to control tempo?" He said, "No, we're going to run with them."
Oh, hey, well,
so.
Hey, and I like that.
That's from an offensive-minded guy back in his day when he played.
I like that, though. You got to play. We ain't gonna back down from him. You got to step up to the challenge, and that's good for his young group to come out here.
And Giles both back in. Also in Greenup for Lafayette as both coaches liberally using their benches. Bad pass from Snyder, intercepted by Jenkins.
It's probably not the play that he wanted right there, but they have to guard this guy.
Carpenter into the lane, kicks it to the side over to Jenkins.
Good
Puts it up, partially blocked by Giles. Jenkins gets it back for Lafayette and put it in.
That's what they have to do. They can't allow that big joker right there to get going. 44 is a force, and he does a good job of just staying around the basket, doing the things that he does. So, hey, but it's 21-18. That's good for Franklin County.
Franklin County trailing 21-18. We'll be back in 30 seconds to the 11th Region Tournament Network, PrepSpin.com.
The Kentucky Center for Orthodontics, home of Doctors Durbin, Wong, and Gardner, is now Clear Choice Orthodontics. Why the name change, you ask? Well, we believe that there's only one choice for all your orthodontics needs, and that choice is Clear. Clear Choice Orthodontics. We offer a unique level of care for each smile in your family. We also feature the latest in Invisalign technology and Invisalign Teen. Put our award-winning experience to work for you. For a lifetime of beautiful smiles, come visit the most outstanding orthodontist in Kentucky, Clear Choice Orthodontics, home of Doctors Durbin, Wong, and Gardner.
Back inside McBrayer Coliseum on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. Lafayette dressed in their red uniforms, leading Franklin County out of the 41st district. Lafayette, of course, out of the 43rd, 21-18. Diablo Stewart, the point guard for Franklin County, back in there. And Jenkins going to be called for a reach-in. That's going to be his second foul.
That hurts right there. You got Luck. You got Jenkins on with 2. But I'll say this to the credit of the young fella here, number 13. Hey, he don't look bad at all. He doesn't get rattled too much. Look at him. Wants that ball. I like that.
He is the son of Prince Stewart.
Man, and his daddy was a ball player.
And you want to talk about irony? Prince played at Lafayette. Here's Diablo shooting 3, left wing, bottom.
Woo-wee. Look at the young fella. Do it, little guy.
If he's nervous, he's not showing any indication of it, is he?
No. They don't come from nervousness, man. Let me tell you, his pedigree is too strong for that.
His sister plays on the Franklin County girls team, who we'll see later on this evening in one semifinal.
And I heard she's tough, too.
They go down to Jenkins, put it up off the glass in the end.
That's just going to be tough.
Too much size down there with Jenkins right now.
I like this. I'm all over the place. We got so much technology going around here. I feel like I'm at ESPN somewhere. I done stepped up the game a little bit. Thanks, Gary Ball. I love you, man.
6 now for Jenkins. Snyder, 3 straight away.
Whoa.
Got it.
That's nice right there. Hey, they fighting right now. I like this Franklin County group. They fighting.
6 for Snyder. Franklin County back out by 1, 24-23. Greenup in the left corner. Can't get in a gap there. Gives it off to Jenkins, who's still in there with those 2 fouls. Lane lobs down to Ross Jenkins. Pump fakes, put it up off the glass and in.
Man, I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he just does it, man.
Not pretty, is it?
No, he's just a junior, too, so I thought he was a senior.
Snyder made a tough pass to Giles, who didn't meet the pass. Intercepted. Here comes Lafayette. Jenkins, right corner, Lane. 3 on the way. No good. Rebound tipped out, and
Good hustle.
Knocked it away from Jenkins into the hands of Stewart, who will drive down. Missed the layup. Snyder missed the tip.
Well, that's all right, young fella. Get it back on defense. Just got to play defense. He looks a little windy right now. His college floor might be taking his toll on them little legs right now.
And the difference between the college floor and the high school floor, 10 feet, 94 feet. And somebody said 10 feet, that's not a lot. It does matter after a while.
It does matter.
If you run uphill in a windstorm.
Hey, my days of playing over at Kentucky State, Winston Bennett had us running up down at 94 feet. It ain't feel good, I'm telling you.
Carpenter too strong on the 3. Jenkins with a rebound on the backside, and now a whistle and a foul on Franklin County.
Hey, one thing about Franklin County, I can say right now, they giving Lafayette a lot. They fighting with them. They're playing. You know, they missed a layup right there by Diablo. But right now, if I'm Tony Wise, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Now, you still got a second half to play. You got another 16 minutes you got to play. But as of right now, you're giving yourself a chance, and that's all you can ask for at this time of year. Give yourself a chance.
Inbounds pass deep. They'll swing it around the lane in the side the key to Jenkins. Back out to Carpenter. 3 straight away good.
Somebody has got to find him. Somebody has got to find him.
Carpenter with 9 now. Schneider drives down on Jenkins, put it up and in.
He's starting to get comfortable now. He's starting to look a little bit different than he did the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game.
8 for Schneider.
Oh, good defense.
Stewart picks the pocket of Greenup. Back to Schneider. Thought about shooting 3, but he'll hold it up. Now he'll shoot 3 over Lane. Wow. And a foul on Harrison Lane.
As of right now, I think Lafayette is just a little bit out of sync. You know, you had Carpenter hit a big 3. But in this game, I think it goes through Ross. I don't think they have an answer for him down there. He's playing well. So I know Mendy will make the adjustments and go in and try to throw it down to the big fella. But, hey, Franklin County's doing an awesome job of doubling down on him and allowing somebody else to do something. But, hey, it's still the first half.
Snyder's first free throw is good. Snyder has 9 now. Is 2 of 3 from the line.
He's starting to settle in right now. He's starting to find himself. And, you know, he pulled up from that from the Colonel hat. And I was like, okay. Hey, if it goes in, you all right. But if it misses, I think Coach Wise is going to say something to him about it.
No, that's where Coach Wise's range was, too.
And where he shooting from, and there's no shot unturned.
There wasn't a shot that Tony Wise ever turned down.
Okay, well, he might be all right with his coach.
His philosophy when he played basketball over at Scott County was, I'm in the parking lot, I'm open.
All right, well,
give me the ball. Here's Carpenter with a drive. No good off the glass. Rebounded by Giles. Stewart lobs ahead to Kennedy. Put it up too strong.
It's all right. It's a good look, young fella.
And an even better job of running the floor by Kennedy. Just too strong when he tried to finish. Lane drives the lane over. Leave a foul coming up on Clark. They give it to. How about no? Marcus Kennedy. That's number 2 on.
As of right now, it's a thing the coach has to think about. Minute and 49 seconds. Do you Kennedy out or do you keep him? Right now, he's playing phenomenal. He needed that second guy to come in, and I'm thinking that he's well.
Lane's first good. 2 now for Harrison Lane. The 6-1.
If anybody has any questions in County, I'll answer it for you right now. I see why they're here. They play hard. They get after kids, and this is the time of year that you want. Pablo ain't bad right there. He's keeping them in it. He's calming them down. But it's helping Franklin County because it's allowing them to get into their transition, and they're actually scoring the basketball. As for Lafayette, that's something that they do well, but, you know, they kind of struggling. So if I was Wise at this moment, I would enjoy that stat as opposed to being a Lafayette coach.
Big relaxed too, but I've never seen Tony Wise as relaxed as he was in the stands waiting on the conclusion of the first game. He was kicked back, had his legs crossed, and up there cracking jokes. Now, I've never seen Tony Wise do that, and we've been around this area a long time, Red.
Well, I mean, that's good. That's a good thing. As a coach, you have to be relaxed because your troops are following your lead. And if you all out of whack and all out of kilter, then it does reflect to your basketball team. With him being relaxed, his kids are playing relaxed. That's why you have a 33-31 against a pretty good team in Lafayette who has knocked off, at the time, the number 1 team, Trinity.
Yeah.
So, come on now. To be in this situation, your kids have got to be feeling good. It's another 16 minutes to play, though.
Yeah.
But at this moment, at this time of year, you have to give yourself a chance to win. And as of right now, that's what Franklin County has given themselves.
Back to action we come. 2-2-1 press from Lafayette. And really, I don't think I cannot recall a turnover against the press from Franklin County.
They've not, but I'm telling you, after a while, you may not get it early, but eventually,
Kennedy misses the easy one underneath, and Watkins clears for Lafayette. Off it comes to Carpenter.
Got to have those layups. Those are those bunnies I was talking about.
Swinging around to King in the corner to Greenup. He'll drive baseline, floats from 8-0, rebound to Kennedy.
There's that one shot and done. It's one shot and done, so I give Franklin County credit. And they're doing a good job. Number 30 has stepped this game up. I don't know much about the kid, but he's playing pretty well.
Kennedy pulls up from 12. Got it.
As I say that, he does. He makes another shot.
6 now for Kennedy. Franklin going 2 for 1 here maybe.
That's a tie ball game.
Swinging around the lane in the paint. Gives it back. Carpenter, 3 out of the corner. Short. And the rebound went off of Diablo Stewart's foot, who's in there battling the little 5'8". Now, I'm telling you, Red, we're sitting here right at the court side, and we're getting a really good look at Diablo Stewart, 13 and white.
You said 5'8".
He's not 5'8".
He ain't no 5'8".
No,
man.
sir.
He's probably about
5'5".
No.
Not even that tall?
I give him probably 5.
Now we got to go with the hair, too.
Okay,
the hair's part of the height.
That make
right?
him 5'4" and a half.
He's not very tall, but I tell you what, there's one thing in a human body you cannot measure, and that's that ticker.
That's that ticker. He got hard and he got a little bit of game to him, so
Yes,
who
sir.
cares about his size?
Under 10 to play as Lafayette's going to hold for the final shot.
And he's
Carpenter around to King. Or excuse me, that's Greenup. Lane in the corner. He stepped out of bounds.
Hey, let me tell you something, too, about Diablo, too. As I'm watching him, because an old point guard, I'm watching him. He's directing the defense. He's directing the offense. And that's the reason that they're in the game right now. You got to have a floor general out here getting people into spots. He's the extension of Tony Wise, and right now he's doing a pretty decent job.
They'll throw long. It's tipped into the hands of Ross Jenkins. Carpenter will let it go from midcourt. It's short.
Wow.
And what an entertaining first 16 minutes of action. Nothing settled after 16. We're dead even at halftime. 33-all between Lafayette and Franklin County. Gary Ball will be back with a halftime guest. And we'll get you the numbers and get you set for the second half. All that coming up on your spot for the 11th Region Boys and Girls Tournament. PrepSpin.com.
I'm Todd Graves with special guest Les Miles. Fans seem to have a set of game day traditions they really love.
And one tradition I really love is the one love of Raising Cane's. The delicious taste of those fresh, never frozen chicken fingers, along with that amazing cane sauce, lemonade, and sweet tea.
Wow, I think that covers every game day tradition out there.
You didn't mention my sweet dance moves.
That's a whole other show.
Raising
Cane's, one love.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you. I'm here with Kenny Wayers from UK Sports Medicine at halftime. Tradition here on PrepSpin. It's National Athletic Training Month. Tell us what the theme is.
Well, this year, March is National Athletic Training Month, and our theme this year is prepare and you perform. So it's about how trainers, we're always behind making sure the athletes are ready so that when you see in the field, they're prepared and ready to go.
And let's talk about right now, because baseball going on, tennis. You guys, what's the trend like to help those athletes as up right now 33-all here at halftime against this pretty good Franklin County?
They're ready to go and working as quickly as possible because they don't want to come out of the game if they don't have to.
You guys are recognized not only in Kentucky, but UK Sports Medicine nationally as one of the best in the business. How did you guys create such a great tradition?
Well, it all started probably a long time ago, 25 years ago when we started in Fayette County providing athletic training services to the high schools. And it's just one of those things we built because we've taken care of kids and having doctors that, are sports medicine trained, deal with UK athletes. High school athletes want to go to the best, and so we've been able to branch out and cover quite a few. It's really taken off, and even in the past few years, we're covering the middle schools in Fayette County. So, because we noticed that kids were getting hurt when they were in middle school, and so we want to make sure they had the proper care, and so kids from 6th on know that they're going to be taken care of so they can play to their best ability.
And you have to be prepared when I say for anything, because a couple of years ago, you prepared. You actually helped save a young man's life over there at Lafayette. I believe it.
Right, it's definitely not something you're expecting. All of our coaches, athletic CPR certified. You think maybe a coach or a referee or
they can get us together now, but they do a good job, and I appreciate it to have them come out and, they not only do they just do things for the kids. I had the opportunity to have Aaron when I was the head coach at Dunbar. Aaron helped us with our fitness training and getting the kids in shape and preventing injury. So I'm very appreciative of what they do and to have access to those professionals and help these young men and these young ladies stay on the floor and get better.
I'll tell you what, we have a good one brewing here in Richmond. We're in halftime of game number 2 of what will be 6 all day today. The first round of the boys, Franklin County and Lafayette. Bryan Station victorious in game number 1 over Madison Central. Game number 3 will be a different style of play model out of Richmond. We'll take on Henry Clay. And in the afternoon cap of the boys' first round, Lexington Catholic and Woodford County, which could prove to be an intriguing game. Never know what's going to happen. These two teams have met for a 4th year in a row in the first round of the regional tournament.
Well, anytime you get in the region, you have a chance to win the state. I'm always going to be biased. I'm an 11th region guy, grew up this way, but anytime you can win this region, you got a shot.
It's a mini state tournament.
Yeah, it is. You got a shot. So, it's unfortunate that somebody's not going to make it, but, you get a good chance to get to see good basketball, good coaching, and, good athletes. And, it's a joy and it's a blessing to be a part of it. Coaching-wise, and to be able to sit on the sidelines and call some of the games. So I don't take this lightly at all.
No.
I do not.
That's the boys' action. We want to remind all our viewers out there that the girls' semifinals can be seen here on PrepSpin tonight live, beginning at 6:30. Game number 1, upstart Madison Southern, who won their very first ever regional tournament game back on Monday. They'll take on the top team in the region, Franklin County. And then the nightcap, it's round number 3, Lafayette and Henry Clay. Lafayette, the defending region champion. So it should be an interesting time. That comes up at about 8:15 tonight.
You got to give Coach Sanford over at over Henry Clay a good job. He's turned that program around. Coach before them did a good job, but for Sanford to go in there, get those girls playing hard and playing well, and my hat's off to Eric. I'm kind of biased because I know Eric, but still, I like good coaches. I like guys that come in and take something out of nothing and make it into something. And he's got Erica Jackson over as an assistant coach. And,
former player there.
Need I say more about Erica Jackson? They got a good pedigree, too.
Yep.
And then you got Jonathan Richmond over there, who's a Bryan Station alumni, goes on to play college and Johnson C. Smith and scores a bunch of baskets down there as well to pour into those girls, man. They do a good job. So that's going to be a tough one.
Halftime of game number 2. It's Lafayette and Franklin County all knotted up at 33. We'll be back with the numbers of the first half and get you set for the second half here on PrepSpin.com.
I'm Todd Graves with special guest Les Miles. Fans seem to have a set of game day traditions they really love.
And one tradition I really love is the one love of Raising Cane's. The delicious taste of those fresh, never frozen chicken fingers, along with that amazing cane sauce, lemonade, and sweet tea.
Wow, I think that covers every game day tradition out there.
You didn't mention my sweet dance moves.
That's a whole other show.
Raising
Cane's, one love.
In 1956, Gene Lowe started a small sporting goods store in London to help local schools. Over 50 years later, Lowe's Sporting Goods has grown to meet the needs of our community. We offer screen printing, lettering, and monogramming, and a full line of custom trophies for your teams and events. Lowe's has fan apparel from the NFL, UK, and all of our local schools. So no matter what team, no matter what season, Lowe's can outfit your team from head to toe, on the field, on the hardwood, or in the boardroom. Swing on over to Lowe's Sporting Goods, 901 Main Street in London and 916 Master Street in Corbin.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank has a 143-year history of locations serving Kentucky communities.
555 Whitaker Bank Corporation employees serve the needs of our fellow Kentuckians.
Whitaker Bank offers 102 products and services designed with Kentuckians in mind.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Hatmaker Vincent Brimble prospered in the town of Hattington. Never flashy, he only made the classic bowler. Then suddenly the day's trend became preposterously tall. His Raymond James financial advisor reminded him that focusing on the long term is always fashionable. The fad was indeed a passing one. His patience paid off, allowing him to one day hang up his hat with confidence. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor
Back to Paul McBrayer Arena on the campus of EKU University Alumni Gym. As Lafayette just now comes back out on the floor, you see him on your screen there, just now entering the court of play, still waiting on Franklin County. Your coach Mike Mendenhall III of Lafayette Red, you've got a situation where you had Jalen Jenkins, who saw most of the second quarter of action on the floor with 2 fouls. You take Lucky Jackson out about midway through the first quarter with 2 fouls, and you're dead even here. But there are some stats that stand out from the regular season game to today's game that really kind of bother you if you're Coach Mendenhall, because number one, Ryan Schneider for Franklin County had 9 points in the entire game in the regular season. He's gone off for 13 here in the first half today. That's one stat that bothers you. The other one's your turnovers. You haven't forced a lot of turnovers from Franklin County in the first half. The Flyers have actually turned it over 10 times, but they only have 5 points off of those turnovers, where they had 23 points off turnovers in the regular season against Franklin County. Those 2 stats, and the fact you're getting beat on the boards too.
What the difference of this game right now, you got to think it's the 11th region tournament. It's do or die. So if you take a cat and you corner him in and you try to corner, it's going to come out fighting. You know, credit that Lucky didn't get to go in the first half. He had to sit. If I'm Mendenhall, I'm really not that worried at this moment. Not taking anything from Franklin County, but you got to steal minutes with one of your crucial players being out. You have some other guys come in and step up in order for them to advance. They're going to have some other guys play some minutes and help out. The adjustment for them is just to come out, relax, do the things that got you to this point, and I think you'll be fine. Franklin County, on the other hand, has got to continue to attack, keep them from getting second chance points, and you never know what can happen here. These first 3 minutes are going to be crucial for both of these basketball teams. Somebody's got to take control of the game, and as of right now, Lucky didn't play. I'm feeling pretty good if I'm Mendenhall. I stole some minutes out of some guys that normally don't play as much, and Lucky sat. Now you got him for the rest of the game. If I'm Tony Wise at this moment, you got to find ways to get Diablo getting into that paint and creating, and then those guys finishing. I know they spread out a lot to let number 30 go with some guy one-on-one, but at this time you got to run a little bit more offense and not do too much one-on-one. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not trying to say that I'm right, but I'm saying it helps if you can get into your offense and do some other things. Make Lafayette have to play. Make Lucky have to do something else other than take over the game and get offensive rebounds and do things that, in turn, can help you if I'm a Franklin County Flyer.
Lafayette played 8 players in the first half. 7 of them scored, led by Carpenter with 9, 8 for Ross Jenkins, 6 points for Jalen Jenkins, 4 for Harrison Lane, 3 for Cameron Greenup, and 2 each for Lucky Jackson and William Watkins. Franklin County played 8 guys also in the first half. They have 5 that scored, led by Ryan Schneider, the leading scorer in the ball game right now with 13. 6 each for Cooper Giles and Michael Clark. 5 for Ryan Staples off the bench, and 3 for Diablo Stewart. But the most important thing and the most impressive thing to me from Franklin County in the first half was the fact that they went toe-to-toe with Lafayette, trying to get it up and down the floor.
Yeah.
Only turned it over 10 times. And the poise of the young 8th grade point guard for the Flyers and Stewart, I think he turned the ball over twice in the first half. That is outstanding for anybody, but especially as young as he is.
Like we talked about his pedigree, you know, they work out, and he may not have played in this environment before, but his dad has probably coached him into this type of environment, and he's poised. If I'm Tony Wise, you got 16 minutes to make something happen, and these first 3 minutes of this quarter is crucial. What they can't allow to do is Lucky to get going and then get them on some big run and take what they've done at this point away from them. If they can stay poised, if they can make the extra pass, let them get one shot and be done, you never know what can happen here.
Both teams sharing the ball in the first half. 12 made field goals for Lafayette, 10 assists on those 12 made field goals.
This will be interesting for sure, I'm telling you.
We're going to set the clock as they hold things up, and now we're about ready for action here in the second half. Franklin County moves left to right on your television or computer screen, ever how you're watching us at home, or on your smartphone or
this is big time
iPhone or anything.
This is big time.
Same starting lineups for both teams. Stewart, Clark, Giles, Kennedy, and Schneider for Franklin County. Here's a near steal. Now it is. Jenkins the other way, has Lane on the left side. Put it up, and Stewart goes to challenge and thought he got all ball, but a foul on Stewart, number 2.
I guess that 5'5" or whatever we were trying to figure out, 5'4.5", came into play, but I thought it was a good defensive play. That was a 50-50 ball. I like his smarts on that. I would have liked for him to go after that ball as opposed to just saying, I've lost it and then go. Got to go get that. You never know what can happen. But that allowed Lafayette to get into the transition, and now Harrison, who's a good free throw shooter, gets to get in there and make some and, take the lead back right
Well,
here.
he better be. His dad was an excellent foul shooter in his high school and college days. His grandfather as well.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a bloodline.
He's got a bloodline. Yeah, he is, of course, for those who have been living under a rock for the last 3 years. Harrison is the son of Brian Lane. Of course, his grandfather, Don Lane, the NAIA Hall of Famer.
Hey, I love Coach Lane working and playing in those camps as a young guy.
Stewart checked his dribble, has it knocked away. Schneider will rescue it. He has it knocked away. Now he goes to the floor, and he's over and back because his hand hit the midcourt stripe, and Lafayette had not trapped out of that 2-3 zone that they showed early in the first half.
Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. Of course, I knew Mindy would come out and make some adjustments. Now what Franklin County has to do is just settle down, stay with what got them into this position, and not allow this thing to get out of hand.
35-33, Lafayette got the first 2 of the second half. We're just underway, 45 seconds in. Lane to Carpenter on the right baseline. Back out to Jalen Jenkins. It is a 2-3 zone from Franklin County. Lane to Jenkins to Carpenter. Down low to Jenkins on the right block. Back out to Jalen Jenkins. Drives the lane. Gives it back to Jenkins. Laid it in.
That's what they can't allow them to do. Keep him out of the lane and make the extra pass to these guys. And that's what Franklin County cannot allow them to do right here.
10 now for Jenkins. Clark with it on the right baseline. Pulls up. 10-footer short. Rebound on the backside. Kennedy put it in.
That was a big basket right there. They kind of knocked a little momentum away, give themselves a chance. But they have to do a better job of keeping the guys out of the lane against this 2-3 zone. That's what you're there for. Keep them out of the lane.
37-35. Lafayette by 2. Here's Jenkins. Pulls up. 17-footer straightaway. Bingo.
Wow, that's a good shot.
Jenkins now with 8. A minute and a half into the third quarter. Lafayette by 4. Their biggest lead has been 6.
Blocked.
Stewart cut off by Jackson. Gives it away to Jackson. Lane with it. Pulls up, gives it back to Jalen Jenkins, and a reach-in foul on the backside. I believe they're going to get Ryan Schneider.
Yeah, right there. What they can't do right here, the 2 guards up front there, you got Stewart and you got number 22. They have to get up there and keep number 3 out of the lane. They can't allow those guys to do it. He can't let him do that.
Harrison Lane out of the corner for 3, good.
Can't allow him to do that. And it's not too bad. Good timeout right here.
9 now for Harrison Lane, and Lafayette has extended the lead to 7 at 42-35 with 5:59 to play in the third. Back with more here in Richmond on the 11th Region Sports Network Tournament. PrepSpin.com.
Sitters are here.
I'm ready. Okay, kids, behave.
Man to man.
I got the little guy.
Oh, did you leave cash for the pizza?
I got it. With more features than ever.
All right, who's hungry?
Mobile banking from Central Bank lets you deposit checks,
You're in timeout.
pay bills,
Okay, you're going to get a rip screen.
send and receive funds with Pop Money, and more. So you can stay in the game without missing a step. Do more with mobile banking from Central Bank, official bank of UK Athletics.
Back into McBrayer Arena here in Richmond.
They're pushing their 2-2-1 up a little bit. They have to look middle, then make that corner to the side. But the thing about that is they do a good job of trapping in those corners. So they have to do a better job of keeping the ball in the middle and then attacking that basket.
They get in the middle to Giles, back to Kennedy, gets it across the timeline to Stewart, back to Kennedy, fights between 2 people and a foul coming up. And let's see what's going to be on. Well, I tell you, the more I watch Harrison Lane, the more I see his dad in him.
Asking a lot of questions, man. Just play
He
ball.
does. You could tell he's probably going to have some coaching lineage down the line for him. No pressure on the young man, right?
No pressure at all, man. Don't worry about it.
Jenkins comes out because that was his 3rd foul on Jalen Jenkins. Stewart harassed by Lane and by Carpenter. To Schneider, splits the double team. In the middle, floater from 8, too strong, rebound by Jenkins.
But that's a way to attack that double right there. They have to be aggressive.
Lane puts it on the floor.
Good D.
Knocked away by Kennedy. Jenkins knocks it away from Giles and gets it on the right baseline to Watkins. Skip pass to Carpenter, who will run the point now for Lafayette.
Yeah, they have to just settle down right here. They're trying to get out too fast, Franklin County is. Every possession that they have to control that ball, and they can't allow Lafayette to get into their running transition offense.
Jackson floater, too strong, got it back. Lane, 3, right, left wing, bingo.
That's what hurts you. That's a 5-point play right there because you get that offensive rebound, you kick it out for a 3. Those
12
are things
now.
that hurt you.
They got 11 for it, but I know my math's not that bad. 11, I guess, for Lane, and he'll drive the baseline and a foul. That's Stewart, and that's going to be on Carpenter.
And that's the thing right there. Like I said, the 5-point swing right there. I know that doesn't sound like 5, but if you allow Lucky to get that second chance rebound, you kick it out, that's a 3. That's a 5-point possession because, that gives them another offensive look at the basket. So you got to be careful if you're Franklin County and not allow them to do those things.
Plus, you miss a runner in the lane. It was
Yeah.
pretty much uncontested. So, really, you give up 7 points almost like
If
that.
you want to look at it that way.
Kennedy drives baseline, blocked by Jenkins, who grabs it out of the air and holds it till help comes back, and Watkins will run it across the timeline for Lafayette. Gives it to Carpenter. It's a double-digit lead, the first of the afternoon for Lafayette.
They came in and they settled in and they do what they do. I said they stole minutes with Lucky not being on the floor.
Jackson's in there now. He only has 2 points. Carpenter, 3, right wing. Line drive, short. Rebounded by Kennedy. Ahead it comes to Stewart. Jackson kind of just...
Good pull up.
Yep, nice, smart play and a nice job of rebounding on the backside by Clark. Shot it too strong, rebounded by Watkins.
They got to have shots going to the basket. They can't allow this to happen.
Jackson to Jenkins. Got his composure and put it in. 12 now for Jenkins, and another quick timeout from Tony Wise.
Yeah, they're up 12. They could get ugly here quick, but they have to settle in. A couple of missed shots down here, and that makes it tough for them. They have to score right here.
Well, timeout on the floor. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. Lafayette extends to 12 here on PrepSpin.com.
Kentucky Children's Hospital is here to care for Kentucky's kids. From primary care to serious illness, we are specially trained to address their unique needs. Kentucky Children's Hospital is one of only 2 hospitals in the state with specially trained pediatric surgeons, a level 4 NICU for the tiniest babies, a pediatric ICU, and a 24-hour pediatric emergency room to care for the most critically ill or injured children. We are here to provide whatever care your child needs.
Lafayette has come out of the locker room on a 14-2 run over the first 4:07 of the second half to lead Franklin County now 47-35. Both teams used their bench liberally in the first half. But right now, Lafayette extending that half-court defense out towards the center line, which is causing some problems for Franklin County.
A couple of crucial turnovers right here for Franklin County. They got to get back to playing Northwest basketball. Right now they're playing East-West. So they have to get to that basket and they have to finish. If not, this thing can get away from them quickly.
Lucky Jackson on Diablo Stewart. Here's Schneider, who hasn't got the one shot early in this quarter. And then Watkins going to be called for a hand check.
You know, I mean, I know the scores, they're up 12 right now. All Franklin County has to do is get a basket right here and walk back into this thing. It's not far-fetched for them right now, but they will have to start making baskets.
First foul on Watkins, the third on the Generals here in the second half. Stewart had it knocked away. He got it back, gets it back again. Carpenter uses that size just to move him out of the way. And a foul coming up on Giles for Franklin County.
That was the type of things right here. You know, for Stewart, if I'm a coach, I'd pull him to the side. I'd talk to him. Hey, calm down. You're fine. Take care of the ball in those traps right there. You know, eventually the 8th grade was going to show up, and it's kind of showing up, but I don't want to take that away from him. I think it's a good timeout, but I'd say something to him quickly, get him right back in.
They go down low to Jenkins, too easy.
Yeah, it's way too easy right there. Franklin County has to continue to play. They can't allow this press to stop them. You got to turn and go.
Giles into the lane, throws up a wild left-hand shot. Rebound pulled off by Jenkins. Watkins now to lane. Skip pass in the corner on the right side to Carpenter, who kicks it back out to Jackson. Here's the thing, too, with not only the youth of Stewart, as they do have him over there on the bench to talk to him a little bit. Lucky Jackson's a senior and just so much more physically stronger right now at this stage than Stewart is.
The one thing I like that the officials are letting them play.
Right.
So, you know, you got to be strong with that basketball. You can't be soft with it or not do a good block.
Jackson has it blocked with the left hand by Giles, who remembered his coaching and said, big man, pull it up. You're not a ball handler. Wow. Gives it back to the guard, and Schneider will go down the lane, floats, finger roll, got it.
There you go. There's a possession where they scored. They had a few empty possessions right there, and now that they scored in here, I mean, it's 49-37. I mean, they still have a little bit of life in them, but they do have to get a stop and another score right here.
They give it back into Watkins to Jackson, to Carpenter straight away. Steps in, gives to the lane on the left side. As Franklin County, that zone now matching up a little bit more out of it than a straight 2-3 zone. Lafayette plays around the perimeter with Lane, Jackson, and Carpenter. Carpenter with it now to Jackson. He won't shoot it from there. They'll dare him. He'll step in from 15, though. Left it short. Rebound on the backside by Schneider. And Jenkins.
How many is that on Jenkins?
Over the back. That's the first foul on the junior.
Oh, okay. Well,
the 6'6 junior who Coach Red and I both thought was a senior, but he's not.
He was a senior, but he's not. I didn't know that till maybe the other day. We were talking about him, and I didn't realize he was a junior. So that helps. That helps the cause of Lafayette.
Couple of substitutes in. Greenup 1, Liberty for Franklin County. Kind of got the size makeup of Chris Roberts, who graduated a year ago. Nice move by Clark. Yeah, 8 now for Clark.
So they got another possession. They could get a stop right here and another score. They were right back in this thing.
And that was a good look. Was that Schneider on the pass?
That was Schneider on the pass.
Greenup, 49-39, Lafayette. Lead, which was 14 a moment ago, shaved to 10 with 1:15 to play in the third. So Franklin County not going away.
They just need another stop right here. If they could get a stop, I think they put themselves in a good situation. They have to have a stop.
Carpenter straight away. Stutter steps, floats in the lane, left it too strong. Clark tips it over to Staples.
They can come up with a bucket right here and give themselves a shot.
Kennedy drives baseline, had actually the angle at the basket, didn't take the shot. Staples stepped back, 15-footer, left it short. Liberty saved it back into Clark, who got it to fall.
Hey, right there, give themselves a shot. 49-41 right now. The Flyers are giving themselves a chance.
Back down to 8 as we head under 30 seconds to play in the third. So a quick 6-0 run from Franklin County after the timeout, and a turnover near turnovers. Jackson got a little careless with the basketball there.
Playing a little nonchalant right now, but hey, you know, it helps a little bit. They got the big guy back in,
Well,
kind of getting that rebound.
You know you're an athlete and a half when you wear the highlighter colored shoes.
They bright out there, man, let me tell you.
Brother, I couldn't have pulled that off, could you?
No, I couldn't have pulled that off. Even though I am a good-looking guy, I don't think I can pull that off.
There are people out there that will argue those points with us. You know that, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that argue that for me.
49-41. Lafayette with the basketball. They're going to play for the final shot. It's kind of tough for a team that likes to get it up and down the floor to hold it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lane, floater from 12, left it short. Rebound Schneider, and that'll do it for the third quarter of action. It was a profitable one for Lafayette.
Yes.
They got 16 points. Thought they were going to run away and hide with it, but Franklin K said, hold on a minute. It's down to 8, 49-41 Lafayette. Back with the fourth quarter of play here in Richmond. On your spot for 11th Region Tournament action, PrepSpin.com.
The Kentucky Center for Orthodontics, home of Doctors Durbin, Wong, and Gardner, is now Clear Choice Orthodontics. Why the name change, you ask? Well, we believe that there's only one choice for all your orthodontics needs, and that choice is clear. Clear Choice Orthodontics. We offer a unique level of care for each smile in your family. We also feature the latest in Invisalign technology and Invisalign Teen. Put our award-winning experience to work for you. For a lifetime of beautiful smiles, come visit the most outstanding orthodontist in Kentucky, Clear Choice Orthodontics, home of Doctors Durbin, Wong, and Gardner.
Fourth quarter getting ready to begin here in Richmond as Lafayette has an 8-point advantage over Franklin County 49-41. The Generals will have the basketball. The winner of this one gets Bryan Station on Monday night for the semifinals. We'll have to tell everybody about the revised schedule, Coach.
Okay.
7:45 to play. Lafayette with that 8-point lead. Franklin County still in that zone. Harrison Lane, 3 out of the right corner. Back rim, no. Tipped up by Schneider into the hands of Clark, who gives it back to Staples.
Big rebound right here. Now they need to get a basket right here. If they can do that, they'll be in good shape.
Schneider with 15. He only had 2 points in the third quarter. Working on Lane. Down the lane. Throws one up. No good. Rebound into the hands of Jenkins, who outlets to Jalen Jenkins. Has Watkins with him on the left side. Hanks put it up and in with and a foul.
That's a tough possession for them right there. They down there scrapping hard. They needed that little runner right there, but all's not lost. It's 51-41. I mean, they still have a chance. You know, if somebody would have said that this would have probably been a 20-point, 30-point blowout right now. But you got to give the hats off to Franklin County. They're fighting, and they still got a chance. Still a lot of time to be played.
Watkins free throw. Good. He has 5 now. Off the bench for Lafayette. Have to come up with a catchphrase like our good friend Gary Ball here to my left. You know,
soup in the sandwich.
Soup in the sandwich.
You ain't got nothing for that, man.
No,
that's real.
Kind of reminds me of one of our fine sponsors, Rafferty's.
I'm hungry too. Nobody feed me today.
I know, man. One of those days, you're Schneider.
Oh, good move.
Crossover, hangs the lane, whistle. And they got a blocking foul on Watkins.
That was a good move right there. What grade is he in?
Snyder's a senior.
Oh, he is? Okay.
The only player for Franklin County on the season averaging in double figures. As I mentioned back in early February, he was held to 9 points against Lafayette down in the capital city. They played at the place we know in the 41st as affectionately as the Barn.
You got to have those free throws right here. Every shot that goes up has to go in for Franklin County. for them to get out of here.
Well, I tell you, they played about as good a first half as Tony Wise could have hoped for.
Yeah. Can't leave any stone unturned in this game right now.
And not saying they're not there right now. They're right there. Schneider misses both free throws, which is happening for him. Steal by Clark.
Good defense right there.
Kicks it across to Kennedy. He is one of 4 senior starters in the lineup for Franklin County. Schneider to Staples. Back to Schneider. Harrison Lane draws the assignment defensively. Kind of surprised Lane's getting the job defensively here on Schneider.
And one. Well, I mean, they have to come out and make baskets here. I know he missed these last 2. He's got to put these in right now. You think about this. If he had hit those other 2 free throws, they may not be in this situation. But had he hit those, they come down and score. Now it's 46 to 52.
Right.
So they have to get those.
Free throw on the way from Schneider is short. He has missed his 3rd free throw in a row. He is struggling right now from the foul line. And he has missed 4 in a row. Clark, though, and Kennedy battling with Jenkins.
That's a foul.
And they foul now on Jenkins, or they're going to call Clark. Boy, I tell you, they let him get away with a whole bunch there. But
that's kind of tough to watch, a little bit. I appreciate the strong and great play. I really do. But come on, man. They're down there beating the big fella up. They can't allow that to happen. I mean, they've done a good job of calling the game. I'm not complaining at all, but I'm just saying.
If you're Coach Mendenhall, though, you kind of like that because it's going to toughen up Jenkins for possibly later in the tournament.
Well, yeah, but still, you don't want kids getting beat up out there, man. I mean, he got the possession of the ball. That's a foul. They got it, but still, you can't do that.
Carpenter and Lafayette's going to make Franklin County come out to play.
Have to come out and guard a little bit.
You may see Coach Wise go to a 1-3-1 or maybe chase a little bit farther with a 2-3.
Yeah, he's going to get out there and guard those guys. And this is one thing that Lafayette does pretty good. They'll spread you out, try to beat you off the dribble, and then they'll kick it to the corner to one of their shooters, which is Carpenter. And then you got Harrison that can stick it. And if Lucky's hot, he can hit a couple of those too. Or they'll draw and kick to one of the big right here. As I talk about that, what do? They
go down to Jenkins, put it up and in, and foul on Liberty.
Seemed like I seen that movie before.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So, but that's what they do. They'll spread you out. They'll get you in a situation. They either draw, give you the kick, or they'll draw and kick out and get a 3 from the 3-point line. So that's somewhat tough to guard. And then you have you got Jenkins on the bench that's not been in for a while. So you're still in minutes once again.
But you're up 13. Can match the biggest lead if he completes the 3-point play, and he does.
Yeah. So. Franklin County's got I hadn't seen Diablo back in the game. I wonder what that's about, but, hey, I'm not coaching Franklin County.
17 now for Ross Jenkins to go along with 8 rebounds. So a couple of rebounds shy of a double-double for the junior. Kennedy, 2-3 zone this time from Lafayette. Schneider, right wing, got fouled on it by Lucky Jackson.
They got to, that's tough. That's tough, as a coach. I know Mendy wants to get after Lucky a little bit on that. I probably would have too. Don't foul the 3-point shooter. Just go out and contest the shot, man.
I don't know. Is the third or the second one of the toughest to deal with when you go over that Lafayette bench, commit a foul like that on the third? On a 3-point shooter, Schneider hits the first free throw.
It's not a good foul at all. You put him on the line, you give him 3 points. And
maybe, because he hits the second as well.
I think he's a pretty good free throw shooter. I don't know much about him, but
he's missed 4 in a row until he hit these 2. Kind of fading back off the line there on the 4 there. He stays with it this time and hits all 3.
So you give him 3 points. I must be a psychic or something. I don't know.
18 now for Schneider. 5:15 to play. 55-44. Lafayette, Franklin County still right there though.
Still right there. Oh, you can't give that up. My goodness. Oh, good
Harrison
block.
Lane with a nice pass. Watkins had it swatted away by Giles.
50-50 balls. Those hurt you right there. You got to come up with those. I don't care as if your life depended on that. You have got to get those balls.
Carpenter to Watkins in the left corner. Skip pass over to Lane. A nice job by Kennedy to knock it out of bounds. Well, Franklin County is, Tony Wise was was an outstanding shooter. He'd tell you he was not the most athletically gifted kid, but boy, he played hard, and his team following suit. Here's a nice entry pass from Watkins down to Jenkins, who laid it in.
They don't have an answer for the big fella on the inside right there. So, you know, they have to be in help side when they get you on that. They'll send a guy through to pull a defender away, and then they'll look to get that overhead pass into the big guy. Jenkins does a good job of catching and finishing around the basket. So you have to be mindful of those type of things. But, hey, the game's not over. You still got some time to play. But if I'm Tony Wise, I'm feeling pretty good about this basketball team and what you've been able to accomplish up until this point. Game's not over. Continue to try to attack and get some shots on your end and not come up with any empty possessions. If you can do those things, you might have a shot to get out of here.
We'll be back. 30-second timeout here. Timeout on the floor. Lafayette by 13 with 4:46 to play on PrepSpin.com.
In 1956, Gene Lowe started a small sporting goods store in London to help local schools. Over 50 years later, Lowe's Sporting Goods has grown to meet the needs of our community. We offer screen printing, lettering, and monogramming, and a full line of custom trophies for your teams and events. Lowe's has fan apparel from the NFL, UK, and all of our local schools. So no matter what team, no matter what season, Lowe's can outfit your team from head to toe, on the field, on the hardwood, or in the boardroom. Swing on over to Lowe's Sporting Goods, 901 Main Street in London and 916 Master Street in Corbin.
Ready for the final 4:46 of this one. Franklin County trailing Lafayette 57-44. And what has proved to be a much more competitive ball game than I think a lot of people thought coming in after the regional draw was announced. Kennedy, baseline pass down to Clark, who waited for Jenkins to go flying by. And a foul coming up, I think. Nope, they got Watkins down low.
In that situation, that's a good play call right there by Franklin County. But what they have to do is once you get that ball in the middle, you have to look to attack the basket right there. Franklin County got away from that early in the quarter, which kind of hurt them a little bit, and then they found it again. So right here to get there, force Lafayette to have to play defense. Now you got to be careful because you can get back tips into that, but they got to put somebody in that middle right there, and they got to look to attack that basket.
Well, here's what's also hurt Franklin County. They've missed some free throws here in the second half.
Yeah.
They missed another one.
That's that stone unturned that I've been saying. You can't leave any unturned in the type of game like this.
3 of 9 now here in the second half. Here's a steal by Schneider for Franklin County. Still playing hard here. A three-pointer here. They've cut it down to 10. Schneider to Kennedy. Staples back to Schneider. 3. Short. Rebound Kennedy on the backside. Put it up off the glass. No good. They're going to call a foul on the rebound, though, before the shot. And for Lucky Jackson, that's number 4.
You know, you gotta stay in it. I know it's tough. Lucky got off not to a great start, but he's got to continue to play. His team's going to need him on that floor in order to finish this thing out.
Well, 2 players in double figures for Lafayette right now. Jenkins with 19, Lane with 11. 2 also in double figures for Franklin County. Schneider with 18, Clark with 10. Kennedy can draw into double figures as well and does.
Good. This right here is a big possession. If they could get a stop right here, they give themselves one more chance. Can they do it?
57-46. Watkins in the middle of the floor bounces down low to Jenkins. Back out to Lane. Had a look at a 3, but pulled it back out. They'll swing it around to the left side. Carpenter and Jackson now will have it here on the far side. The Lane in the corner. 3 on the way. Yes, sir.
And that's what they do. Spread you out, penetrate, kick to the corner. Cause a lot of problems for you.
The third three-pointer of the afternoon for Lane. He's got 14. 60-46. That matches the biggest lead for the Generals. Kennedy to Staples. Left wing, his answer? No. Nice block out on the backside by Watkins. Ahead to Lane in front of everybody. Laid it in.
That might hurt him a little bit right there. It's going to be tough in 3 minutes to do that. Not getting those possessions that they need right here, but he's got to turn to look and go.
62-46 Franklin County with 3:10 to play. Lafayette leads by 16. Staples to Giles. 15-footer, right elbow, no. Jackson clears on the backside for Lafayette, and then he and Clark kind of mix it up a little bit.
Franklin County still playing kind of tough right here, which is all right with me. Just tough right here. You know, Lafayette's got to make free throws too, but it's going to be hard to come back in 3 minutes against a group like this, you know, because they can spread you out they can beat you off the bounce. Like I said, they can pull you in and then kick out. And they got some pretty decent shooters out there. And Harrison and Carpenter will stand in that corner and they won't move. They're standing there and knock a shot down. So, my hat's off to Franklin County. I don't want to say that they're out of it right now. They played really hard right here and they fought a little bit.
Well, right now the knockout blow about ready to possibly be delivered at the free throw line by Lucky Jackson, a 65% foul shooter who hits the first.
Yeah, it's tough.
If he can make it 18 here, it could be more than tough. It could be the initial swan song for Franklin County here in this season. He misses the second. The ball tipped out into the hands of Snyder, who somehow waited between two generals to get it. Kennedy, Staples in the zone to Giles. Back to Kennedy. Dribbles around, throws it up, blocked by Jenkins. Into the hands of Clark, blocked by Jenkins, who got it.
It's going to be tough for Franklin County at this point.
And here comes Harrison Lane, trying to go over Lucky Jackson and threw it away. Snyder going the other way in a hurry, laid it in. Boy, Ryan Snyder has played an outstanding game today. He just needed a couple more guys to give him something. He did get some help from Jenkins and Clark so far, but just too much size inside and athletic ability for Lafayette right now.
And then they spread you out on this big floor, make you have to guard. And like I said, they do a good job of getting around the guy, penetrating.
And Carpenter fouled by Staples, who took exception to it, did Carpenter, but that's just a good hard foul, trying to reach around to make a play, and he came across the forehead of Carpenter.
Yeah, makes it tough.
Well, Carpenter and Staples will see each other here for the next couple of years. They're both sophomores.
Oh, well.
So,
hey.
Harrison Lane exits the ball game as Jalen Jenkins comes back in, the junior. But Lane had a nice game so far.
Carpenter, I know his dad played at Bryan Station. Scooby Carpenter, great point guard out there. So he's got a nice little pedigree in him as well.
Looks more like a fullback than he does a basketball player, doesn't he?
He does. He's like a fullback.
Missed the free throw, and the rebound cleared by Franklin County. Carpenter has 9. He hasn't scored, though, since the first quarter. Giles to Staples.
You got to look to score right here. They don't have a lot of time to be dribbling the clock
out.
Back
to Kennedy. Kennedy pulls up, 15-footer. Got it.
Kennedy's had a pretty good game for them today. He needed that extra guy to help stand up. They had 2 guys come in.
Yep, 12 now for Kennedy and a foul on Staples.
Yeah. They had, if you're looking at it, they had Franklin County's got 3 people in double digits, and Harrison's got 16 quiet. And then you got Jenkins with, 19 and 10. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, 10 rebounds. He's got his 10th rebound a moment ago. Harrison Lane, as you said, a quiet 16, but he got 3 threes right here in the start of the fourth quarter that really were big for Lafayette to increase that lead. As Carpenter misses the free throw.
Field goal percentage. Ross Jenkins, if this is correct, he's 88.9 from the field. Are you kidding me?
They go down to Clark, who laid it in. Boy, nice job of breaking the press from Franklin County.
It's too much. It's too much to overcome in a minute.
Yep, 63-52, but Franklin County still going to play to the final horn.
And that's okay. I commend them for that. That's just going to be tough to do.
Well, they can hold their heads high for the guys returning next year as they go down to Jenkins, to Watkins. The lady almost missed. He was so wide open, he almost missed the layup.
Yeah.
7 for Watkins now. Clark with it, drives on Jenkins, and a whistle, a foul, and coming up on, and Jenkins goes down as Clark went down, and he buckled that right knee, and hopefully that's nothing major.
He's all right.
Jenkins up, and maybe they bang knees, because Clark's flexing that left knee as well. But boy, he's walking very gingerly, trying to walk that thing out. Those things hurt worse than about anything else in the world.
He's all right. The big fella's fine. I'd take him out right now. Get
That's what they're
somebody
gonna
look
do.
at it. Take him out. Ain't nothing but a minute left. Get him out of there.
Jenkins looking at him like, is Harrison coming in for me? Are you sure?
He's fine.
Coach Mendenhall just sitting over there just kind of with his hands, and then finally just shook his head, yes.
He's fine. I mean, there's somebody look at it right now.
Yep. I think they just banged.
Just a little bang
I think they
knee
just
right
banged
there.
knees, but boy, I tell you, when you hit that right in that little soft spot right above the knee.
Yeah, it stinks, man. Let me tell you.
Of course, when you get our age, though, Red, everything hurts. All right?
Yeah, you're right.
Free throw missed by Clark. Clark's played pretty well today. seems to be his last game at Franklin County.
No, if there's any team that said that they weren't supposed to be here, it would be Franklin County. No disrespect to what they've done, but, hey, to be at this position, have a chance. You played well against a team that, came out at you, had a chance to win this game. It was tied at the halftime, and like I said, they have to come out and play another 16 minutes, similar to what they did at this moment. And I thought that they fought pretty hard, but, Lafayette, like I said, with Lucky being out, they were able to steal a few minutes from other guys that don't play very much. And then Lucky comes out with just his presence on the floor, gives these generals a different type of feel of what they do. So, hey, it's going to be a Bryan Station Lafayette kind of a game.
Lane hits both. Gives him 18 now on the day. A 76% foul shooter. Schneider straight away to Kennedy. Staples. Clark on the right baseline. 15-footer. Back rim, no. Lane and Jackson fighting each other for it, and Jackson grabs it and gives back to Lane. 40 seconds to play in this one. 67-53. Bryan Station and Franklin County as we're coming down. Go. And a foul coming up on DeMarcus Kennedy. That'll be 4 on Kennedy, who's played well today, though, Coach Red. He's got 12 points for Franklin County to go along with 7 rebounds. Well, look at this. Franklin County, 3 players with 7 rebounds. Still out-rebounding Lafayette, though, as Jenkins hits the first.
Yeah. But, like I said, it came out to those second-chance shots that they didn't get, but they only out-rebounded them by 1.
By 1.
So,
but they were murdered on the boards back in the regular season, and they gave them a shot there. They had to play almost a perfect game. Staples, Kennedy, Clark, and Schneider all come out for Franklin County.
They played a perfect game for 16 minutes. They had to put two halves together. Just not able to do that tonight, but if I'm him, I'm not worried about this because this group wasn't supposed to be here, if that's fair to say to them.
In the ball game for Lafayette wholesale, so we got wholesale substitutions here.
Yeah, so.
And I would love to get some of these guys' names on the air just so again, folks back home. That's Nolan with a rebound for Franklin County off to Bailey Smith.
He looks a little young, too.
Sophomore. He's a 94% foul shooter, though, on the year. Pretty good. There's Nolan. Steps back. 8-footer. Got it.
Made the score.
So Ben Nolan gets into the scoring column. And Lafayette will move on to Monday night's semifinal round as they'll take on Bryan Station in the Battle of Lexington. In one semifinal, Lafayette victorious over Franklin County and what is a lot closer. A lot of people would have thought 68-55. We'll be back with our star of the game and plus the winning coach, Mike Mendenhall III of Lafayette, as the Generals take out Franklin County 68-55 on PrepSpin.com.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
There are 50 Whitaker Bank locations serving Kentucky communities just like mine.
61 Whitaker Bank ATMs throughout Kentucky make getting quick access to cash easy.
Whitaker Bank staff serves the needs of nearly 70,000 Kentucky customers every day.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Welcome back to Paul McBrayer Arena on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. Lafayette over Franklin County in the game. And we have Coach Gary Ball with a star of the game, Harrison Lane, and the coach, Mike Mendenhall.
Coach, you defeated Franklin County. Was it hard after you beat them so handily to get your ball club focused for this game, even though it was a regional game?
Yeah, I think it's hard for teenagers once they have a game like that to come back and really understand that group has come a long way. Coach Wise has done a great job with them in the last month. That's not the team we played a month ago. He had a good game plan. They executed it, and we're lucky to survive.
Well, the big fella came up again talking about Jenkins, 19, good job on the boards, 18 for Harrison Lane. So those two guys combined for 37.
Yeah, they're just consistent. The shots weren't falling in that first half. Harrison didn't get discouraged. Ross kept battling down low, and good things happened.
Coach, now it's going to be Bryan Station and Lafayette, and you get back to the old adage, it's hard to beat a good team 3 times. You've had their number this year. You've beaten them twice.
Yeah, it is, but both games have come down to the very end, and I don't expect this one to be any different tomorrow. The way I saw them shoot it against Madison Central, if they do that on Monday, they're going to be a hard out for anybody.
While we're here on live TV with all these folks watching, I got to say, too, congratulations to you for winning the Coach of the Year in Leavenworth. Well-deserved. You do a terrific job.
Well, I appreciate that, but these guys make me look a whole lot better than I am. I promise you that.
Coach, tell us the game against Bryan Station. What do you think it'll take for Lafayette to get that one?
We just got to compete. They're so athletic. They do a good job of running the floor. We got to slow the tempo down. I can't believe I'm saying that, but that's what we want. We want to slow it down at our pace and be able to execute.
Always great. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Let's get Harrison Lane in here. Of course, worked with us on a broadcast at the district. We got to get you back on. But, at the beginning your shots weren't dropping, but that doesn't discourage you because you got a good basketball IQ, and your teammates still look for you to get the open shot.
Yes, sir. As my grandfather would say, I wasn't using my legs in the first half, but once I started settling in, getting used to the atmosphere, I was able to hit a few shots.
Well, that inside-outside combination with Ross Jenkins, a big kid down low, and you outside, and also Jaquante Carpenter can knock down to 3 too, and other guys too. So that's a deadly weapon when you got the inside-outside combo.
Yes, sir. What teams have done is when they double Ross, I can relocate and get a few open shots that way. And so that's good. And then Jawante, when we get on different sides, it's always good because you have 2 3-point threats on both sides for Ross to look for.
Were you impressed? I mean, you got to take your hat off to Franklin County. That's not the same Franklin County team you beat by 30 about a month ago.
Oh, no, they played a great game, and Ryan Schneider, I think, had 20 points or something. He's a really good player. But, yeah, they were a really good test today.
And you're in the Final Four of the 11th region. You'll play Bryan Station. What do you expect in that game Monday night?
It's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be hopefully a great atmosphere. They're a really good team. We just got to get off to a better start against them than we did today.
Harrison, I know you got to get the locker room. Congratulations, and we'll see you Monday night.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Harrison Lane, let's go back to Darren and Coach Red. Great young man from great family, Harrison Lane, and they win it today, and they go to the Final Four. Darren?
We'll give you the total numbers here before we wrap it up today here in game number 2. It was Lafayette over Franklin County 68-55. 19 points for Ross Jenkins to go along with 10 rebounds. 18 points for Harrison Lane. 7 for William Watkins. 9 each for Jalen Jenkins and Jaquante Carpenter. We had 3 points each for Cameron Greenup and Lucky Jackson. For Franklin County, 20 points for Ryan Schneider in his final game as a Flyer. 13 for Michael Clark. DeMarcus Kennedy had 12. 5 points for Ryan Staples. 2 points for Ben Nolan. 3 points for Diablo Stewart, playing in his first regional game as an 8th grader. Coach Red, very good ball game. A lot more competitive than a lot of people thought.
Good job to both teams. Franklin County came out and probably played the best game that they could. I kind of figured that they would, and playing, really well at this time of the year. Coach Wise did a good job. Mindy did a good job. But Mindy can move on with his group now. He don't have time to think about that. The next matchup is Bryan Station. I heard Gary say it'd be hard to beat a good team 3 times, but we'll see what happens. I tell you what, it'll be a nice atmosphere on Monday. I'm glad I'll be a part of it.
Yep. Well, Coach Rick, good working with you. William Warfield producing our game. We have another one for you coming up. Richmond Model against Henry Clay, Gary Ball, and Coach Justin Cheatham will bring you all the action of that one. Back with more on PrepSpin.com.